Halloween Contest 2021. Tricks and Treats Aplenty. Object number 31. Ouija board. Location: Meg Base Beta. Revision: Unknown. See incident log. Image caption: Object 31, when it was first found. Attempts to repeat the visual irregularities in this photograph have failed. Description: Object 31 is a charred wooden Ouija board which has the alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, and the words yes, no, and goodbye marked on it in black paint. Object 31 also contains a similarly charred wooden plaquette with the letter X painted on it. The object was discovered in the basement of a naturally occurring store in level 11 called Gifts of the Goddess. This store seems to mostly contain products pertaining to occultism and New Age spirituality. The basement was empty except for Object 31. Object 31 has the mystical property that if someone places their hand on the plaquette, it will begin to move on its own. During this time, the plaquette is seemingly controlled by the spirit of someone deceased who the user knew personally. Wanderers can communicate with specific people that they knew personally by thinking about that person before using the object. Attempting to communicate with the spirits of people who the user did not know have been unreliable. Additionally, sessions with the object don't last longer than 10 to 15 minutes, and require at least a few hours for the object to recharge before another use. Debate is still ongoing as to whether the use of Object 31 should be authorized for wanderers who are grieving, and experiments are planned to determine if use of the object can help with the mourning process, or if it would have negative emotional effects on those involved. Test log. Overseeing personnel: Zofia Connolly, Meg Base Beta. Test subject: Wilson Woodhouse, level 11. Goals: to determine if interfacing with lost loved ones using Object 31 has positive therapeutic effects. Forward: Wilson Woodhouse is the husband of Meg member Heine Woodhouse, who was lost in an expedition to level 613 on August 31st, 2020. Mr. Woodhouse was instructed to focus on his memories of his late wife while activating the object. Transcription notes: responses from the object have been recorded in another font. Spaces and punctuation have been added where appropriate for readability. Begin log. Wilson Woodhouse: Darling, can you hear me? Ouija board: Yes, it's really me, darling. Wilson Woodhouse: Oh god, I can't believe I'm getting another chance to talk to you again. Ouija board: I didn't think I'd see you again either, darling. Wilson Woodhouse: Heine, I've missed you so much. Ouija board: I've missed you too, darling. It's so cold here. Have you been holding up okay? Wilson Woodhouse: It's been rough, but I've managed. What do you mean here? Where are you, Heine? Ouija board: I don't know, darling. It's like I'm floating endlessly in a dark ocean, and just for a moment your voice is echoing off of the sky. I wish I could see your face. Wilson Woodhouse: I wish I could see your face too, Heine. God, you are so beautiful. Ouija board: Am so beautiful, darling. Wilson Woodhouse: Sorry. Ouija board: It's okay, darling. We don't have much more time here. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? Wilson Woodhouse: I don't know. I never expected this to actually work, so I guess I just want closure. How did you die? I've heard the logs, and they weren't clear. I just need to know. Ouija board: That's okay, darling. I don't really know myself. It was strange. One moment I was here, and the next I was gone. I wish I could tell you more, but it's so foggy. Sorry, darling. Wilson Woodhouse: That's okay, Heine. Ouija board: Time is almost up. Wilson Woodhouse: Oh, I'll come back and visit you if the Meg lets me. I love you, Heine. Ouija board: I love you too, darling. End log. Post-experiment interview. Interviewed: Wilson Woodhouse. Interviewer: Zofia Connolly. Forward. This interview was done directly following the experiment with Object 31 to determine the emotional effects of interacting with the object. Begin log. Sophia Conley. How did speaking to your wife make you feel? Wilson Woodhouse. That wasn't her. Sophia Conley. What? Wilson Woodhouse. I don't know what the hell I was talking to, but it wasn't Heina. Sophia Conley. What makes you think that? Wilson Woodhouse. I could just tell. I was married to Heina for over a decade, and I'd know if I were talking to her. Sophia Conley. I see. Wilson Woodhouse. Now, I'm going to end the interview early. Having a conversation with something pretending to be my dead wife is not how I expected to spend my day off. Sophia Conley. I understand. End log. Notes. I would take Mr. Woodhouse's statements with a grain of salt. It's very possible that his thoughts are simply clouded by grief. More research should be done into the object's properties. Test log. Overseeing personnel. Sophia Conley. Meg Base Beta. Test subjects. Sophia Conley. Meg Base Beta. Footnote. Sophia performing an experiment using herself as a test subject goes against Meg experimental protocol, but this oversight was not noticed until after the fact. Goals. To further ascertain the emotional effects of speaking to dead loved ones using Object 31. Transcription notes. Responses from the object have been recorded in another font. Spaces and punctuation have been added where appropriate for readability. Begin log. Ouija board. Hello. Sophia Conley. Alice? Ouija board. Hello, Sophie. I'm here. Sophia Conley. Alice, it's so strange. I've been overseeing dozens of people getting to talk to their lost family members, but they wouldn't let me talk to you. Ouija board. Well, I'm glad you can now. I missed you, Sophie. Sophia Conley. I know, Alice. I've missed you too. I'm so glad I can talk to you, even if it's only for a few minutes. Ouija board. There is a way, Sophie, that we can speak for longer. Sophia Conley. What? Ouija board. There is a way, but it's very dangerous. Sophia Conley. What is it? Ouija board. I can't tell you here. We need to talk later. Off the record. Sophia Conley. But, Alice, the overseers would never let me. Ouija board. Sophie, some things are more important than what the Meg says you can and cannot do. I have to go soon, but I trust you will do the right thing. Sophia Conley. I love you, Alice. Ouija board. I love you too, Sophie. End log. Meg Incident Log. On 10/31/2021, Meg member Sophia Conley went missing along with Object 31. The search for both Conley and the object is ongoing, but the current working theory is that Conley intentionally stole the object for personal use and is evading capture. Deep in the forests of Level 445, a single ex-Meg member stops to catch her breath and sets down the board she is carrying. Sophia Conley. Alice, is this far enough? Ouija board. It is, Sophie. Now, light me up. She pulls a bag of matches and strikes one of them across the box, lighting it on the third try. Sophia Conley. And you're sure this will let me see you? Ouija board. Yes, it will. Are you ready, Sophie? Sophie Conley. Yes. She drops the lit match and the board bursts into flames. Ouija board. Thank you, Sophie. Black smoke, much thicker than it should be, fills the forest as the fire begins to spread. Sophia retreats, coughing. A large figure makes its way out of the fire. An 8-foot-tall humanoid with the head of a goat and a body of black fur. Sophia Conley. Alice? A deep, guttural voice comes out of the creature's mouth, and its glowing red eyes are focused on Sophia. Do I look like Alice to you? The creature begins to laugh with a strange bellowing. Thanks for freeing me, Sophie. Zofia screams and runs away from the creature, but quickly trips over an errant root. She falls face first, arms akimbo. Oh, come on, Zofia. I won't bite. Zofia Connolly. Get away from me! Zofia continues to scream an inch away from the creature as it quickly closes the distance. Then, the screaming stops, and all is quiet but the gnashing of teeth and ripping of flesh as the creature consumes its first victim.